94.3 94.3
94.3 Radio 1, India's only music station. My name is MJ Rakesh. Welcome to One Bengaluru, One Music, one place where we bring you sounds that you seldom get to hear on the radio. Artists, bands, singers and musicians that jam up in our studio every single Sunday. But right now with me, a Bengaluru boy who makes music that is on the polar ends of the musical spectrum. On one end, some metal music, and on the other, some alternative experimental compositions. A rhythm guitarist by heart, playing since the age of 15. He's well known in the circuit as Psycho Sunil. Welcome to Radio 1, Psycho Sunil.
Hi Rakesh, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, Sunil, firstly coming to your music, how do you define that, buddy? Two polar ends of musical spectrum. How do you define that?
I just define it as something out of a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde reference. On one hand, you have soft, soothing compositions that, could take you in a romantic mood or an ambient era, and at the same time, having metal compositions that are probably not that brutal, but aggressive and intense, that could give so much feelings of negativity, angst, hate, etc. The list goes on.
Okay, so you define your music as what? Is it psychedelic ambience, or is it just ambience, or what is it?
It's actually a mix of both. I like to keep it generic. I don't want to say that I don't have a tag to my genre. It's overall a generically experimental album, the debut EP, that is.
Okay, so on one end you bring in the metal bit of it, and on the other end you place it with samples, you place it with alternative music and make it a pure one composed track.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, now coming to your name. What's with your name, Psycho Sunil?
It's a very crazy story. Right from childhood, I've been obsessed with so many fascinations of the dark. When my friends liked Spider-Man and Superman, I chose Batman and Darkman, and even this character called Spawn.
So you're the bad boy types.
I'm the dark angel, a devil, an angel with a devil's costume. That being said, and gradually it grew on to music. I found it to be something different. I wanted to stand out as something different all across. People should be like, okay, no, he's not the best, he's not the worst. There's this guy, he's different. Okay, he's different, and that's how I want to stand.
Okay, well, you sport two different images, right, as a perspective of your musical expression.
Yes.
Now, what's with that? How do you manage that?
Okay, when I perform metal compositions and try to display them as an image or a video, I try to put up a complete dark aura to myself, because it highlights all the feelings of negativity, frustration, rebellion, and every single negative feeling that I could unleash out. There's a certain point where people say, what, don't do this, don't do that. I think I can vent out everything, my emotions, my feelings, through metal. And I think since I kind of tag it as a negative perspective, I put the whole black face paint all across. And along with the ambient music, I like to portray myself with an alien mask. And people who definitely would see this alien mask would say that it's weird, it's strange. And that's basically what I want my music to be. Weird, strange, but different.
Alrighty. Well, you're certainly out there to create something different, and it sounds different, must tell you, because I've heard your music. Alright, let's go with the first track. What's that?
Okay, the first track is the second track of my debut EP. It's called Ambientia.
Okay, and what's about this song?
Well, with 3 tracks from the EP, Ambientia, Hypnasia and Plasma, I'd like to bring out this certain strange melodies with terms of ambience, which are called stoner lullabies, and if not stoner lullabies for the general crowd, ambient trippy lullabies. Something that's not too trippy, but something that's just calm and composed for midnight listening.
Alrighty, it's certainly getting into the midnight and a little spooky here. Let's bring it on then. This is Psycho Sunil, like he calls himself, going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1 with me, MJ Rakesh on.
One Bengaluru, one music. 94.3.
An artist who represents himself as two different images for musical expression, a sort of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, visually appears in the public arena either with an alien mask or just with some black face paint. Absolutely eccentric. That is Psycho Sunil. You're listening to live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1 with me, MJ Rakesh, on One Bengaluru One Music. Well, Sunil, most of the compositions represented are instrumentals. The song sequence patterns are like a paradox in itself. I've been hearing as a very basic, predictable, yet with a tad bit of complex, progressive undertones.
Yes, exactly.
I can hear that. Now, how do you put your music together? Explain the process to me. You're a one-man show who puts together the sound, but the sound sounds like one proper five-piece band to me.
Okay.
Right? And for one man to put together the sound really takes a lot. Now, tell me, how do you do this?
Wow. Okay, for starters, I'm a rhythm guitarist. Think of rhythms, I just play randomly and find out a pattern to a song. I lay out the beats.
So, which means with the guitar, you just find the melody.
With the guitar, I play the beat. I play a beat and play the entire song. And add to that a bass line. After which, I decide to give it depth in form of various ambient pads, ambient scores, and I actually manually play through a MIDI keyboard. And that's how more or less the debut EP has generated out of it.
Okay, but tell me, when you put together a sound, what's in your mind as to what you want on that song?
The paradox is, it's not what's on my mind, it's more like what's on my heart. I just like to let go of anything. I just like to give out anything, be it something happy, positive, negative. It just comes out of my heart and I decide, fine, this sounds something for an alien transition. This sounds something for another dimension. This sounds something for actually something romantic. This sounds something for a very melancholic stage. So based on those feelings and emotions, I convey it through my music.
Is it always the urge to give something different, which is your inspiration, or is it something around you that's your inspiration to bring out sounds?
I think it's different. I think I want to bring out something different, but at the same time keep it to a standard. I consider myself conventionally unconventional. Conventional because I want to stick to a genre when I make, say a track.
For example, metal.
Yes, metal.
That's a genre that you follow.
Yes, under metal, if I have to stick to a certain subgenres, I will. I won't like to tag myself and say that, I'm doing something different. I don't want to label it. I am very conventional in that, but unconventional in the sense that I can shift to something else apart from metal altogether.
Okay, you seem to have taken the freedom of expression pretty much seriously, my friend.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, for example, what's the next track that you're going to play?
I'm going to play a next track called My Airport Scene.
Okay, now tell me, how did you put together this sound?
Okay, there's a story behind every track. My Airport Scene is no different. What happened in My Airport Scene is when we all visualize, think of these romantic moments of these stereotypical romantic movies, be it English or Hindi, where the hero or heroine is departing to the airport and the respective other things. Oh my god, I'm losing him or her. I have to run and get her, I have to run and get him. And that hits your heart, that hits your head. The adrenaline, just think, that's what made the composition what it is. And that's why I simply tagged it My Airport Scene. If people believe in certain scenes in their life, I think this airport scene is something that affixes to it.
Looks like you seem to be reliving something of yours in this song.
Absolutely not.
You sure?
It's just jitters when I see romantic movies.
Okay. Alright, and the elements of music that you have brought in this song?
Yes, there are very, very acoustic elements. Basically a simple acoustic guitar, a nice keyboard which I've done for the first time, which I don't generally play, and that's more or less about it.
And how did you put this sound together? I just want to know.
I played the guitar. I played this entire song on guitar as a rhythm guitarist. I used to play at night, and then I thought, why not add some extra melody to it with that ambience? And altogether I felt that this is something that could convey an emotion, a scene in a way. And because of scene, I tagged the name as My Airport Scene.
Well, bring it on then. This is Psycho Sunil going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1 with me, MJ Rakesh on
One Bengaluru, One Music. One Bengaluru, one music.
94.3 94.3
Well, an artist with a split personality who attempts at bringing out a crossbreed and mix match of new metal, thrash metal, groove and post-grunge, smothered with soft melodies, weird lounge, trippy rhythms and avant-garde. Overall, an experimental yet alternative sound. That is Psycho Sunil going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1 on One Bengaluru, One Music with me, MJ Rakesh. Well, Sunil, as a stark contrast to the former, the alternative side, right, represented by the alien mask, it musically attempts to explore anything and everything that's strange and weird, like music and sound that's synonymous with terms like soft melodies and weird lounge and trippy rhythms and avant-garde, ambient spheres and soundscapes, and overall experimental yet alternative sound. Now tell me, metal side and the alternative side, how do you balance yourself in both these spheres?
Well, metal is basically for outventing of frustration, negativity, lyrics on those same lines, and give off a lot of aggression and intensity. Whilst the other side, the alternative side, has a lot of expression towards emotions. Not that metal isn't, but the alternative I look at more as compositions that tend to generate certain emotions, feelings, scenes or episodes in your life, episodes of fate, etc. And that's how I plan on doing it.
Okay, but tell me, how do you do justice to both? Who's your closer girlfriend?
Well, in this age of two-timing, I wouldn't know how to put that.
You nasty fellow. You two-timing both the genres?
Well, you gotta give both preference, you know.
Oh, look at you. Okay, now coming to your independent live music videos that you have produced, you made 2 independent live music videos for Bangalore bands, Illuminati and Inner Sanctum.
Yes.
Now tell me, how did this happen into video?
Well, I just came down from the Middle East. I had a big culture shock when I knew what the music scene was, and I wanted to be part of it. I had this small dream from, say, 7th or 8th standard that I want to revolutionize rock music scene, but I just came to find out that I'm just a tiny drop in an ocean. So I tried my best. I was in PUC then, and I heard of these bands from the local forums and Orkut. I thought, okay, fine, I'm meeting these guys, I like their music, I think it'll appeal to me, and that's how it happened. I had an outdated camera, outdated handycam, and I thought, okay, fine, I need to give it whatever I've got. So I was in touch with 2 members from both the bands, and surprisingly the response that I got was quite phenomenal, and this happened by accident, to which it percolated and developed into this whole video making genre of my life.
Oh, and since then you've also been making videos?
Yes.
Fantastic.
As a freelance designer, I have made videos, corporate films, promos and portfolios for a lot of people as well.
Brilliant. Multi-talent. Fantastic.
You.
Alright, tell me quickly, which is the next song you want to play?
The next song is a track called Hypnosia, which is quite a mix of psychedelic and lounge.
Okay, and what's with the feel? What's the emotion that you're bringing out in this song?
Well, it's an oxymoron and a paradox in a way. You're hypnotic and then you're nauseatic. It's something people think that they can only achieve by means of getting enlightened, but I think just music can take you high in many ways, more than one. So for midnight listening, I think this is your psychedelia here.
Wow, this is kind of getting into the alpha level of thought process, and I wouldn't really want to do this at 10 o'clock in the night, but we're just going to get down to listening to music. Well, that is Psycho Sunil, certainly getting you psychedelic right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1. One Bengaluru, One Music. This is with me, MJ Rakesh.
One Bengaluru, one music. Bengaluru, one music.
94.3. 94.3.
While pursuing a diploma in VFX and 3D animation and freelancing as a video designer who has worked on several video projects including 2 independent live music videos for Bengaluru-based bands Illuminati and Inner Sanctum. That is Psycho Sunil for you, multi-talented, donning different hats. Right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1, going live with me, MJ Rakesh on One Bengaluru One Music. Well, Sunil, about 3 months ago, you released a song, Back with the Sickness, to exhibit just what people can expect of your metal pursuits, right?
Yes.
How is the audience receiving your music out there, and tell me a little more about the song.
Okay, basically this is a story of what happened after college. After college, everyone graduated, got jobs, or ended up doing MBA. I was amongst the lot that didn't get anything.
So you were one of those who sang Papa kehte hain bada naam karega.
yes. But then the paradox changed because Papa mujhse bola tu galti hai meri.
Okay.
Alright, so I was out of the social networking scene or any social scene for 1 year. I decided to give my life another shot for 1.5 to 2 years before I get another job, or get a job actually. So finally I released this song. It was an outventing of a lot of negative emotions with so much of aggression. I think is rather humbling simply because it was done in a very basic normal computer song, but it was definitely aggressive and intense. And that was the thing that I wanted to convey to the audience, that I'm back here, there, I'm back. Post which I released this debut EP called In My Dreams, which is a complete paradox to it.
Now tell me, how does it technically work in your live gigs? One man playing the rhythm guitar with the samples around, making that complete one band sound. How do you do that?
Alright, the basic technique to my recording is basically I record first the rhythm guitars, after which I follow the bass lines, add the drum loops, and probably whatever ambient sound scapes are there through the keyboard I will do, and to which I will respectively play the rhythm guitar or lead guitar, whichever has more importance or value in a particular respective track.
Live.
Fantastic.
Yeah, brilliant. I thought it was always the other way around. I thought you've already played your lead or rhythm guitar and then you're trying samples on it and making it happen. Fantastic, brilliant stuff. I've rarely heard of people who do that. There was an artist named Sendil Selvan who used to do that.
Okay.
And I think you're probably one of those now. Okay, quickly moving on, tell me which is the next track you want to play.
Okay, the next track is the last hypnotic track from the EP. This one is called Plasma.
Okay, and what's it about? Plasma.
I think the theme of the track being instrumental is psychedelic, and it is very, very sci-fi and X-Files-ish. The truth is out here.
Okay, let's start the... Alright, bring it on then. This is Psycho Sunil going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1. One Bengaluru, One Music. This is with me, MJ Rakesh.
One Bengaluru, one music. One Bengaluru, one music.
94.3. 94.3.
Well, like I said, a Bengaluru boy who makes music that's on polar ends of the musical spectrum. On one end, some metal music, on the other, some experimental alternative compositions. That's Psycho Sunil going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1, creating some psychedelic ambient music for us. With me, MJ Rakesh on One Bengaluru, One Music. Well, Sunil, quickly coming on to the EP that you just released.
Yes.
Yes? Tell us a little more about that. How many tracks on the EP?
For starters, this is my debut EP. It's titled In My Dreams. It's the ambient come psychedelic EP. It has 7 tracks and 1 bonus track as well, just to give a prelude of what people can expect next year. The 7 tracks happen to be the alternative, psychedelic, experimental, trippy tracks, while the 8th track is the metal song Back With The Sickness. That is just a prelude. And this is more like a dream come true for me, honest to God. And it's been a great experience. It's been a great experience. I never expected so much of response. My whole contention behind this EP was just to create awareness within Bangalore, saying that, you know what, there's this guy called Sunil. He's not the best. He's not the best right now. He's not the worst. He's there. He's just there. And the response that it got or garnered was amazing, because I happened to get requests for shipping, not only in India, but to UK and Australia as well.
You're a man with a plan, aren't you? Alright, tell me, how did you release this EP?
Well, I made 600 copies, which I have distributed roughly 400. These 400 copies were distributed across Bangalore through these restaurants called Ice and Spice. The Ice and Spice chain of restaurants located in St. Mark's Road, Koromangala and New BL Road. So I've put up a poster there, and guess what? It's absolutely free.
Fantastic. Okay, and how are people receiving your music on that EP?
Well, it's great. The response has been phenomenal. They said, you are different. That is the first tagline that I wanted.
So your purpose was fulfilled. Your purpose was served.
Yes, as I said,
you wanted that.
Yes, I'm living my dream, and that is basically about it.
More than calling you different, which could be taken in a negative connotation, I would say you're unique.
Okay.
Your sound is unique.
I'm just humbly telling that I'm different, so if people want to...
Fantastic. Alright, tell me, is there any ideology or theme or a thought that's there behind this EP?
Over last year, when I didn't get a job or get placed onto an MBA college, I was sitting on my terrace almost every night through 2:30, 3:30, and looking up at the stars and the moon, thinking to myself, what am I going to do next? What next? It's in everyone's head. But I thought of just taking up my guitar and playing it at midnight, and out of which I could not believe myself when I just made up certain compositions. These compositions were based on the night, the stars, the moon talking to me. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but it was the truth, and as a result of which, I think I've dedicated a lot of this EP to the night.
Fantastic. You're quite a dreamer, my friend.
Yes.
And those nights gave you any nightmares?
Contemplating.
Alright. Now tell me, which is the next song you want to play?
Well, the next track I want to play is by far the most special track to me on the EP. This one is called Me and the Moon. And for the record, I'd like to dedicate this song to one of my sirs, professors in college called Madhavan sir. It was his dream and wish that whenever and as and when I got on radio, I dedicated a song to him. So Madhavan sir, this one is for you.
Fantastic. Well, bring it on then. This is Sunil, Psycho Sunil if I have to call it, going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1 with me, MJ Rakesh on
One Bengaluru, one music. One Bengaluru, one music.
94.3. 94.3.
Well, an artist who represents himself as two different images for musical expression. Like I said, a sort of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That is Psycho Sunil going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1 with me, MJ Rakesh, on One Bengaluru, One Music. Sunil, a very curious question. With the pool of talent that you've got, you literally put together one band sound, right? On a track. Now tell me, you could do a lot more if you had more people at hand. Why did you choose to go single?
Yes.
Why not form a band?
I take this question from the context of the metal perspective. I came down to India around 2005, and to my shock or my anxiety, the metal scene here was rather averse or critical to the kind of genres I used to like. I'll be honest and say that I am from the little newer school of thought, which is into post-grunge, modern rock, new metal, alternative metal, whilst the forum then for the Bangalore music scene was basically classic rock, thrash metal, old school. Not that I don't like it, I really love Metallica, Pantera, but just asking for people who would like to play certain music was quite out of the question. When I put up my influences as Slipknot, Mudvayne, I wouldn't get positive replies. But forget the indifference, the negative replies were even more, and I've kind of pasted it as a very big memento for me. So on those lines, I don't think I would have been able to have found people who would have liked,
To collaborate with.
Yes, exactly.
So you chose to go single.
Yes, however, collaboration still is on the table. I have seen so many artists, I've heard so many artists. I think it'll be a wonderful thing.
Okay, but did you even have any stint with any other artist or a band together?
As such, no.
As such, no. Alright, but you've been doing fantastically single.
Thank you so much.
Is it also in personal life?
I choose not to come.
No, I'm just figuring out if there's any inspiration. Not that she'll give you a metal inspiration, but it'll at least give you an ambient inspiration, right?
There's nothing of that sort, dude.
That's news for you. Here's Sunil, who's a little psycho, but makes great music, and he is single. So ladies, your chance. Alrighty. Sunil, tell me quickly, which is the next track you want to play?
Well, this is the ultimate paradox to everything. After all the soft ambient, alternative, romantic tracks, I think this one is a prelude to 2012. This one is my metal composition called Back with the Sickness.
Alrighty, bring it on. This is Psycho Sunil going live right here in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1. One Bengaluru, One Music. This is with me, MJ Rakesh.
One Bengaluru, one music. One Bengaluru, one music.
94.3. 94.3.
Well, an artist with a split personality who attempts at bringing out a crossbreed and mixed match of new metal, thrash, groove, post-grunge, smothered with some weird lounge trippy rhythms, overall creating experimental and alternative sound. That is Psycho Sunil, going live right here in the studios of 94.3 81 with me, MJ Rakesh. Well, Sunil, your future plans in mind for now are the release of a 3-track untitled EP by mid-2012, which is mainly based on dark, emotional, melancholic piano compositions, right, and haunting scores.
Yes.
Now, this is getting a little spooky. What's happening? You're getting darker by the years?
I wanted to start off the whole awareness scene in the Bangalore music scene by saying that, okay, fine, there's an EP called In My Dreams, which is a very, very positive based EP. Whilst I have to and I want to convey emotions, that there is a more bigger depth and there are more levels and layers to the emotions that are conveyed. So if one is on a positive level, I think this one is by far very emotionally disturbing. The EP is trying to convey a lot of things of heartbroken tragedy of probably people around the world who want to emote with it. And that is more or less why I plan on putting up this piano composition thing next year. So I've been working on stuff right now, just to give a little tease as well.
And how do you plan on releasing this?
Hopefully, I think it'll be an online download thing. But if I have funds to again create awareness just like my debut EP, nothing like it.
Okay. Have you gone international online?
Well, the news has spread unexpectedly. I never thought of it to go outside India. It was only confined to Bangalore that I wanted this whole EP experience and my debut. So keeping that in mind, the fact that I'm living my dream is why I've made this music.
Okay, I think your third EP has to be about living your dream.
The third EP is the end of the world, as I put it. The third EP is
the Judgment Day.
Exactly, and the third EP in a gist is just saying that the nightmare begins. The dream run is over and the nightmare begins.
Well, man, you seriously psyching me, Sunil, with your psychotic talks. All right, quickly tell me, which is the last track you want to play?
The last track is a prelude or a teaser to the upcoming sophomore EP, the second EP that's out next year. This one is called Death of a Lover, and it's a melancholic piano composition.
Okay, and who is it referring to, Death of a Lover?
Well, it's a hypothetical thing, if I may get a little emotive with the whole audience who's hearing. We live in a present generation where people just move on fast. They talk about, wow, this gets over, that gets over. I think I'm a little, call me old school, but I believe in certain philosophies of the old generation. You know, you work towards something, you work hard at something, you stick your head out and make sure you live up to it. Not just get comments around you saying, no, you need to go away, just move on, dude, this is that. I think we need to understand the value of emotions connected in our generation, because I think we're a little short of it.
Fantastic. Well, I think it's probably this kind of attitude and thought that's made you put together whatever you've put together, Sunil.
Yes, I listen to my heart and make my music. That's as simple as
fantastic.
that.
Well, there are very few people who listen to the heart, many who get carried away by the mind. All right, quickly, let's move on and tell me, why can Bengaluru catch you online?
Well, Bengaluru can catch me on www.reverbnation.com, www.youtube.com, www.facebook.com/Psycho Sunil India.
That's PSYKOSUNEEL. Alrighty, on that note, let me tell you, it was fantastic having you here in the studio, Sunil.
Thank you so
Though
much.
it was a little
Rakesh.
psychotic, but yes, it is a good experience.
May I add a point? I have, as I said, I'm living the dream, and I'm truly living the dream. And they say dreams can turn into epic moments and epic monumental things. But the great epics always begin from humble beginnings, and each humble beginning step, just like this, is a milestone within itself for me. So I thank you so much, and thank you, Radio 1.
Fantastic. Well, all the very best in all your future endeavors. And on that note, this is MJ Rakesh signing off. This is exactly what happens every single Sunday right here in the studio, where we get you artists, bands, singers, musicians that jam up live and tell you what they play, how they play, why they play, and all that's there behind the music. You know of anyone that needs to be on the show, you need to mail us bang@radio1.in, and in the subject line, do not forget to mention One Bengaluru, One Music. MJ Rakesh saying tata, bye-bye. We'll see you next Sunday, same time, same frequency. One Bengaluru, One Music this is.
One Bengaluru, One Music. One Bengaluru, One Music.